Hello everyone, this is Nick from Carillon Audio and Brutto Bello. I want to deconstruct another patch of mine on the Deepmind 12. This one is a harp patch. Check this sucker out. Put on the arpeggiator. So as you can hear, it's a pretty realistic sounding harp. Let's dive in and see what I did on this one. So, oscillator 1 is just a square wave here. There's no pulse width modulation going on, so it's as square can be. There's no pitch modulation by the LFO or anything like that. Because you have to remember, a harp, basically you pluck the string. There is no vibrato that you could apply to it after the fact like a violin. There's no level going on for oscillator 2. There's no noise, so it's very simple patch. It's just a square wave. Where this mostly lives is in the finessing of the envelopes and then the filter. So here, the filter's all the way closed down, have about halfway up for the envelope's impact on that filter. And the keyboard, also the tracking is at full, so we're tracking every note up the keyboard, opens up the filter just slightly, so the low notes get a darker, essentially sort of sine wavy sort of sound. So let's look at the envelopes. Very basic envelope. Obviously this is a plucked sound, so very instant attack or near instant. Long decay. Same thing with the filter. And we've got a mod envelope. So where part of this lives, again, is the mod matrix. This is one of the best parts of the Deepmind 12, is this ability to do all this modification or modulation of the sound. So what I have going on is I have note number going to both all decay and note number going to all release. So essentially, the low notes decay longer than the high notes. Very quick decay, and that's the way that a real harp would work. The low notes are going to sustain longer because you're getting this thicker string vibrating. It takes longer for it to stop. Then we've got a trick that I did on my trumpet patch as well as my violin. I've got envelope 3 modifying the modulation box 4, the destination here, which has LFO 2, just slightly modifying the oscillator's pitch. So again, that's a quick sample and hold. So what that's going to do is add a randomness to that initial attack of the sound. It's hard to hear. If I go to the just so that you get a little bit of randomness. And then also I've got the note number going to VCA active with the negative value, and what that has the effect of doing is that the higher notes are just slightly quieter than the lower notes. So here, if I switch that around, here's the high note. So it takes it down just a couple decibels. And then finally, to finish it all off, is some EQ and reverb. I've got this on insert mode so that the EQ will affect everything. But again, these effects are really good. They sound good. There's no reason to not have them in your signal path, as far as I'm concerned, especially if this instrument produces, the Deepmind will produce the sound that you want. I mean, yeah, of course you can do things in a DAW or outside of it, but the whole point is when you go on stage with this thing, or you take it somewhere, you want to record it, if your part of your programming process is to make it sound the way you want it to sound using the EQs, the effects, the pitch shifting, all that sort of stuff that's in here, you might as well use it. So knocked off some of the lows. What else we got? We got a little bump here on the at 1K, and then I added some more high-end energy again. Gets a little dull without it. And then a little bit of reverb. So, all in all, a relatively simple patch, but sounds really cool to me. It sounds kind of pretty realistic, and then especially with the arpeggiator, when I kick that sucker on, it's just... it sounds pretty darn good to me. Anyway, hopefully this has helped you guys see a few of the possibilities with the Deepmind in creating these sort of realistic sounds that have a little bit more nuance to them than just straight oscillator filter, you know, analog synth sort of sounds that you're going to get when you're trying to emulate a Juno or something like that on the Deepmind, which, of course, the Deepmind can do really well. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Again, I'm Nick from Brutabello and Carillon Audio Blog. Have a good one. Bye.